So let's get right into it. Uh, who are we? We are Rhumbix, and we are a veteran-led field-first construction company focused exclusively on driving better reporting, coordination, and performance in the field. And as far as out-of-scope work tracking goes, like essentially that's done using time and materials. And this slide here talks about the state of art in the industry, like wherein you can see how cost-ineffective paper-based time and material ticket management is. And on average, construction workers spend up to 12.5 hours, or construction personnel spend up 12.5 hours per month per project to copy and distribute tickets. That adds up to 150 man hours spent per year per project, and that totals up to 7,500 hours per year per company. So clearly calls a need for a digital cloud-based solution. Let's talk about the opportunity ahead. And how does better and improved out-of-scope tracking really help us? If you think about it, there are essentially three things here, right? When you talk about out-of-scope tracking, you have different project partners that are involved. It could be subcontractors, general contractors, owners, and you want to make sure that all the project partners are on the same page. So a better T&M solution does that by eliminating late and lost time and material tags through centralized reporting. Second, you also want to make sure that you get paid more and faster, which accounts for valuable time that is saved with just the faster and efficient approvals. And third, at the end of the day, you want to foster collaboration between different project partners, which means you want reduced disputes in your out-of-scope work tracking. This also increases the reimbursement rates and decreases cost processing delays. So what are some challenges that we look at when we talk about out-of-scope work? And this stems to the fact that today's paper-based time and material tickets are very difficult to track. It's hard for anyone to have good visibility into where the work stands, and also control risk that's involved between different project stakeholders. So some of the common pain points that we hear about a lot are there's so much time that gets wasted trying to find the right approver on the field for a sign-off, which results in delayed time and material approval process for all parties. And that adds to frustrating partner experience, be it GCs, owners, and others. And it all comes down to essentially lack of visibility around time and material approvals for field and the project teams. So what is the solution that we propose? And at Rhumbix, we've thought a lot about it to come up with a digital streamlined workflow that enables real-time reporting and stronger collaboration with project partners. And we achieve this end of improved project collaboration by doing three different things. First, we allow for forms to be shared with project partners, both from field and office. Second, we make it super easy for you to track and manage any collaborators on the time and materials workflow. And third, we provide complete end-to-end visibility into approvals, collaboration, verification through a centralized report. So that's Rhumbix time and materials solution. It's a smarter and a digital workflow. And it has four different components. First, there's the capture piece. And essentially, we are a field-first company, which comes down to we allow for field data capture through different fields, make it super easy for field personnel to kind of record time, material, and equipment. And not just that, you can also snap a photo and also add attachment and add note as an attachment from the mobile field now. So that's a capture piece. Next, we make it super easy to share these time and material tags as and when they are created. And you can do that both from field and from the office. You can share forms with project partners internally and externally. Third, we make it super easy for anyone, whether a Rhumbix user or whether they're not a Rhumbix user, to approve time and material tags through digital signatures. Fourth, we make it super easy for a Rhumbix user to track and manage all submissions with complete visibility into where time and material tickets stand in a given workflow. And this is done using the cloud-based dashboards. So for the purpose of today's presentation, while I'll be touching upon all these 4 aspects of our T&M solution, capture, share, approve, and track, a majority part of our demo is going to be focused on the share aspect, which is essentially tied to this broader idea of fostering collaboration between project partners, and how do we just help engage them better through better reporting, through better approvals, through expedited approvals, and through better field capture as well. So let's jump right into the demo. And on this screen here, let me close this. On this screen here, on my right, you'll see the Rhumbix field app, which is a mobile app that mobile field personnel will be using. And on my left here is the, on my left here is the Rhumbix Office app, primarily meant for primarily meant for user roles like PMs and admins. As a field personnel, I can enter the test location here. And I can enter the test description of the work. I can go ahead and add labor. So let's say, in this case, this was apprentice carpenter. I had few standard hours, no OT hours, no overtime, no double time. I'll skip the labor markups, equipment material section. I'll go down here and add a subcontractor signature. I can just draw the signature here and I'll go ahead and save it. So on this view here, you can see that the form got created as a draft. So I can also go ahead and change status. I can submit it. Once it has moved to submitted, if I go into the tag under actions on the top right, I can now share this directly from the feed, which means I no longer need to hunt down my GC rep to kind of get sign off on this particular T&M tag. Rhumbix empowers me to share this right from the feed. So if I hit share, it pops open this shared action sheet. And there are a couple of things that you can notice. You can add any previous collaborators that you've shared your forms with, or you can go ahead and add a new collaborator. In this case, let me go ahead and say, I want to share this with my project partner. So be ready a project partner at Rhumbix. And I can always share this with multiple people. So let's say I also want to share it with Zach at Rhumbix. Hit apply. I can share either as view only or to request signature. For the purpose of this demo, let me go ahead and actually request signature from the GC rep here. So I'll do that. And there's also an option to customize the message, but I'll skip that for now. So once I hit send to invitation, both these invitations go out to the user and the form is shared. So if I go back to the view here, and then if I refresh, it says submitted to guest. Now let's switch to the office side. On the office side, let's say I'm a PM and I have this centralized dashboard, which shows me all the tags that are getting created. So I can see all the forms under time and materials on the left navigation panel here. In this view, I went ahead and grouped by tag status. This allows for a better visibility into what forms and how many different forms are tied to each status. You can always group by different columns as well. You can group by the job. You can group by GC reference number if you have one. You can group by work performed date, work status. You can also change the filters associated if you want to look at a wider time range. What I wanted to show, we offer the option to share from the office, which opens the share email modal. Much like the share action sheet on mobile, you can see all the previous collaborators, or you can add a new collaborators. So if you go ahead and do that, you can always also either share as view only and request signature from the web. Since I've already shared this form, I'll not do that here. So I'll go ahead and hit cancel. One additional nicety as part of the T&M solution here is you can track all your collaborators by just choosing collaborators, and it pops open this right rail, which shows, hey, who are all the collaborators or project partners that I closely work with? When did I share each of these forms? What are the different projects? And how many of these forms have been clicked? How many of the links have expired? And the right rail here also allows you to actually either revoke access if you accidentally shared your form with someone you weren't supposed to. You can also go ahead and update permissions. So if it was shared as view only, you can always update it to request signature and vice versa. And if a link expired, you can just select maybe one that was expired and just say reshare link. So it allows you to seamlessly share a previously shared form, and it'll just send your project partner a new link. So you can see how Rhumbix time and materials solution with both field data capture, field share, and office access to manage collaborators is a complete solution for end-to-end reporting and visibility into tracking your time and materials tickets as and when they're created, and also the approvals. Now, at this point, I'd like to switch gears and talk a bit about your project partner's experience. And for the purpose of this demo, let's assume your project partner, in this case, is a general contractor. So you've sent your GC project partner an email. You've shared out a form with them, and they've not heard of Rhumbix. So what does it look like? So they see this email, okay, someone at Rhumbix sent you this form, you can access this form, and they see this message. You've been invited to collaborate with Dasta on this particular form, so I can go ahead and access this form. Let me close this. So we require you to confirm your email for security purpose, so I can go ahead and say, hey, I'm really D-Ready plus project partner, so I can go ahead and access the document here. And as a project partner or guest user, you see this header, which tells you a bit about Rhumbix as a field data platform. And you can see what this form looks like now. It has been signed by the sub rep, so I can go ahead and make edits here. Note, with the Rhumbix time and materials solution, you have granular access and you have restricted access to who you want to expose each of these fields to or each of these sections to. So as a GC user, I can verify, okay, the labor equipment material has been entered, the labor hours looks right to me. There's nothing really to review in the equipment and materials. So I can go ahead and say I verified time, I'll add in reviewed, and I can type in my signature, and I can also draw my signature here. So let me start project partner. And when I go ahead and hit save, my edits will be changed, but I'm also put in control of the next status as a project partner that I want to transition to. So I can either move it to approved, guest approved in this case, guest because I am new to Rhumbix and I do not have a Rhumbix account set up. So you can either move it to guest approved. In this case, I'll go ahead and do that. Once that is done, the changes are saved, and you'll be receiving a copy of the edits that you made as a project partner in your inbox. And if I go back in here, I can track when, or if I close out the right rail, I can track as and when the forms are approved or rejected for me to take subsequent action. So that's a demo of Rhumbix time and materials, primarily focusing on the share aspect, which is meant to foster collaboration between different project partners. I'll jump back to the slide deck now. Essentially, what you saw today is an improved digital solution for expedited time and materials approvals from project partners. And time and materials as such, when you think about tracking out of scope work, essentially, you want to make sure that pretty much all your partners are empowered to route forms in the workflow. And more importantly, every user, or as a Rhumbix user, you are empowered. You have a centralized report where you can track all of these approvals as and when they come through. So there's the tracking aspect, there's the share aspect, and there's the approval aspect, whether or not your project partner is on Rhumbix or not on Rhumbix. And what we saw today is mobile guest mode shared with Rhumbix guest mode. All field users have access to this share action sheet, which allows you to share time and material tags right from the field. And that also eliminates the need to kind of locate reps on site. It puts you in control of how you want to route this form to, or how many users you want to share this with. And finally, we also saw what collaboration looks like on the office front. So as a Rhumbix office user, let's say project manager or an admin, you can share and manage the collaborators using the right rail that we saw, which gives for a lot of controls around how you want to reshare links, update permissions. And if you choose to revoke access, you can do that with a single click. Most important of all, we do not require project partners to be aware of Rhumbix or to have a Rhumbix account, there's no guest sign up required, no app downloads that's needed. Your project partners can simply access time and materials with email invite, and which that has the link to the time and materials tag.